What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? Today we're going to do a comic book review of King Spawn, issue number 18, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. In the previous issue, the court of priests had been abandoned in hell, while Spawn battled it out with the behemoth. After that battle, the Oracle and the Kingslayer, like bishops and rooks on the chessboard, they're trying to force Spawn onto a throne he doesn't want. The Kingslayer, a slain child whose body was aged from the 5-year-old boy who died into that of an older warrior. Keep in mind, he died in issue number 1 and later in the afterlife, courtesy of King Cade in issue number 3. Now he became Kingslayer in issue number 7 or 8, I believe. But we definitely covered all the issues of King Spawn on the channel, and I'll put the playlist at the end of the video as well. But he's still a little boy who lost the one thing he cared about, his mother. So Gaia tells Spawn the gates of hell have been opened. It's where his mother was taken, and Gaia, along with those from the green, you will hope find her since you've abandoned your allegiance to the court of priests. The Oracle has softened her stance against Spawn. I don't need your kind of help, says Spawn, because all of you, this is on you, because you wouldn't let me look into my wife's body in the green. The court got emboldened. They thought if you could push me around, why not them? Now they're killing your own to get to me. And Kingslayer tries to go at Spawn like this is all your fault. And Spawn looks at him like, boy, you're just a little boy. You're not even close to being ready for war. Not by a long shot. And Kingslayer's like, well, maybe you're right. I'm not ready, but soon there'll be a day when you're wrong about that. And fortunately, it ain't today, so get back. And Kingslayer, all he can do is look at his dead mama right next to him in the behemoth. Mama, I'll save you. And Oracle tells Spawn, do you know the problem? The world, Al Simmons, is slowly falling apart. And the cruelty and the pain humans deliver to one another, it's only intensifying. You can feel it, can't you, Al? Feel that world is a little bit off. Everything becoming more unhinged. The conflicts, the violence, human deprivation is all getting worse. And each time the dead zones are shaken, more sin slips out and infects you mortals. And Spawn's like, you and Gaia were the ones who wanted them opened. Oh, says Oracle, don't believe that lie, do you? You want them closed, but you also want your wife Wanda? You can't have it both ways. You opened them because you wanted to see your wife. That's what she's telling them. And the longer you take to decide, the sicker and sicker this place becomes. With that, Oracle and the Kingslayer disappeared. Though they aren't the only ones lost in thin air, he goes to look for Terry. The room Terry took cover is still no marks and no signs, just his phone. The creature, the behemoth, was just a distraction. So Spawn thinks to himself, if they can somehow wear him down, then negotiate with him, then they clearly underestimated Terry. So Spawn steps into another room and he sees the Psalms 137 paint is still fresh on the floor. Terry is being used as leverage to talk Spawn into something he would never do, or he's being used as a shield to make sure Spawn doesn't kill them for what they did to the lost children's parents, and that's a reference to the last issue. Either way, Spawn intends to hunt them down like dogs. He just needs someone to find their scent. Enter Mark Rosen. Spawn calls him late at night and it doesn't matter. He knows it's late, but get on the damn computer. Once on the computer though, Spawn tells him there's security cameras where I'm standing running east on Points Avenue, the 400 block. A natural hacker that Mark is, he works through the hundreds of cameras of New York until he got something. He starts running code and he's not sure what he's looking at, and then he sees it. It's Jericho. He's a businessman and mercenary, a man willing to sell his skills and infrastructure to the highest bidder. Al Simmons knows Jericho doesn't care about Spawn per se. He's just following orders and the money, because it seems that Terry had a hefty bounty on his head. They see the footage of Terry getting kidnapped by Jericho. So Spawn tells him get him the locations everywhere Jericho has been for the past 24 hours. And Mark tells Spawn, I'll download those in a minute, but it looks like he grabbed Terry less than an hour ago. So he zooms in and he gets his license plate. And Spawn tells him to track it down. And Mark is like, okay, it'll be a bit of time. And Spawn tells Mark, yo man, hurry up, people are dying. Now Mark bristles on him because somehow the pressure has been shifted onto him. But he's also smart enough to understand that Spawn has always seen him as a useful commodity to get intel, so it ain't no big deal. Just you'll get your information when Mark gets the information. He's working as fast as possible. So Mark tells Spawn they're going east about 5 clicks away. You can be there in 7 minutes. As for Terry, who knows how long he lasts as he gets tortured and beaten. Tell me, says Jericho, if Spawn opened the dead zones, why won't he go in and take the damn throne? Screw you, says Terry. Oh, I'm an emissary for the Exodus Foundation. Do you know what they are? What that means to you? The drugs you'll take when I'm done breaking your knees? The hospitals? The banks that hold your house as a mortgage? They own all of them. so they could take everything from you, Terry. And Terry's dealt with threats like that his whole life, and he was a tough son of a bitch even before the military trained him. And he kicks the car into park, and that vehicle going 40 miles an hour, when you put a car in park abruptly, it is not good. They crash. Jericho goes out the windshield. Not knowing who's human and who isn't, this desperate move was all he had left if Terry intends to survive. The driver is injured. Now he knows the driver is human, and that is advantage Terry. Now what he learned in Sarajevo and Somalia down a dark isolated road, Terry's been in situations like this before. And what you do in the next few moments determines whether you'll die or not. And Jericho is pissed. He gets up and looks at Terry as Terry takes a shard of glass and cuts himself loose. You're just a piece, you understand? Inconsequential, something useful, a tool, one we can use to temper the monster you call Al. I told them we should kill you. They said no. The hell with them. I thought you were wise enough to play your part. I see that's never gonna happen, is it? He lets out the flame and everything goes up in flames, letting them know this is a final showdown and you're gonna burn for all this. Not for your kind, says Terry. Terry had come to Spawn for help before. He wanted to reconnect with his daughter who had disappeared, but he's found secret documents about her and Spawn. He risked everything trying to figure out how all the pieces intertwined, and he'll be damned if some outsider is going to stop him from finding his daughter, because Terry has always thought that if he was ever going to die before his time, that it was going to be for a cause he was willing to lay his life down for, and that's an easy cause when it's about protecting your family. Hey, as a single dad, I can agree with that, no doubt. Jericho puts Terry in a chokehold. You're so in over your head, but in those cases where the good man is incapable of winning himself, there are safety measures put in place. And 7 minutes has passed, and this backup came in the form of Spawn. It's a good thing that he isn't good or evil, and he doesn't let guilt drive any of his morality, because inside of him is hate, and it burns strong. A hate for those that prey on the weak, that want to control the innocent, and for those who couldn't care less who they hurt to accomplish what they want. You think you could take us all on, Spawn? Says Jericho. Spawn opens a portal. You're right. All I care about you is tonight. And with that said, Spawn sends Jericho into the depths of the netherworld. After that, he walks away. Terry follows him. We going back in for Wanda or the priest? And Spawn tells him, they want a king? I'll give it to him. I could be the most vicious king they've ever seen, and none of their gods can save them from my wrath. The war of Earth begins. All hail the king. And that's where we end this review of King Spawn issue number 18, not to mention the end of the third story arc of King Spawn. Brutal story. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. Like I said, between King Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn, it is still splitting hairs for me, but oh my gosh, this story just keeps getting better and better, and Spawn's wrath and power just keeps going ham on everyone, and I'm definitely and thoroughly enjoying it. With all that being said, King Spawn issue number 18. If you like the content we're throwing up, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Rated Comics YouTube channel. It'll help Rated Comics to make more comic book reviews and comic book related content like this, and we also do the occasional comic book giveaway as well. Lastly, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, donate to the super thanks or link in description, but the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.